All right, so picking up right from last video, we're gonna just continue to do the same thing. Central angle over 360 equals arc length over 2 pi r, and I wanna find the indicated length, GH. So then it's just plugging in things. So I'm gonna have 120 degrees, that's my central angle, over 360. Arc length is what I'm finding, so x, and then 2 pi times the radius, which is 11. So I gotta remember this formula, and I gotta properly plug things in. Now I'm gonna simplify. 120 over 360 naturally just goes to 1/3. All right. And then x, 22 over pi. Cool beans. All right, cross multiply. Boom, come over here. I'm gonna get 3x equals 22 pi. And then just divide both sides by 3 and realize this is exact. Oops. 22 pi over 3 is the exact arc length. It cannot be simplified. All right. 22 over 3 can't be simplified. Pi is an irrational number. But then again, I can just go ahead and plug into a calculator now and say, well, it's about 23. All right, that's actually rounded. The nearest tenth is just 23. It's 23.038344613 ... All right. Now I'm going to find PSQ. So this one's a little different. All right. This angle right here is 75 degrees. So that means the central angle that I want is this right here, which is 360 minus 75, or 285 degrees. All right, so I'm gonna have central angle over 360, a portion of 360 over 360, arc length, which is a portion of the circumference, over the whole circumference. Instead of writing 2 pi r this time, I'm gonna write pi d, because this time it gave me the diameter. All right, so just a little bit more natural to use that one. Central angle is 285 over 360. Arc length is x over 9, which is the diameter, pi. All right, 285. So trying to reduce this fraction, it can be challenging at times. All right. However, if you play around with it long enough, you're going to realize 285 is just 15 times 19. And then 360 is 15 times 24. All right, so the largest factor was 24. And those are just going to cancel. Or the largest factor was 15. And those are just going to cancel. From there, you cross multiply. So I'm going to get 24x, or 24x, and what's 19 times 9? 171 pi. And then just divide both sides by 24. We're going to get x equals 171 pi over 24. And let me do some thinking. I don't think 171 or 24 have any common factors. Actually, they do. Silly me. All right, you can factor out a 3 from both sides, or the numerator and denominator. 57 pi, 8. So again, this one required some intense reducing of fractions, hopefully not that bad in the future. So exact answer is 57 pi over 8, which rounded is about 22.4. All right. And then moving right along, just knocking out some more problems. All right, so now this time we're gonna find the circumference. So it's the same exact problem, just a little different. Again, let's just always start out by writing central angle over 360, arc length, and then instead of writing 2 pi r, which finds circumference, or pi times diameter, which is circumference, I'm just gonna write c for circumference. All right, now it gave me arc length. Arc length is 10.5. And then it gave me the central angle. So now I'm just plugging in all that junk, which is kind of nice that I don't have to deal with pi now. The zeros cancel out, and then I'm going to cross let me rewrite that actually. So we're going to have 11 over 36 equals 10.5 c. Cross multiply, get 11c. What's 10.5 times 36 is 378. I'm going to guess 11 doesn't go in the whole. It does not. C equals 378 over 11. And that's actually the exact answer. All right. Exact, and then approximately 34.4. All right. So notice that this time we're not always finding arc length. This time it gave us the arc length, so we found their circumference. All right. It said this portion of it was 10.5. So the whole thing was approximately 34.4 based on the central angle. All right. Cruising right along. All right, this time we have central angle over 360, and that's going to equal the arc length over, now it gave us the radius, so let's write 2 pi r. All right, it gave us the radius, so we'll plug that in for r, and it also gave us the arc length, so we'll plug that in for arc length. This time we're finding the measure of angle x. All right, so we're finding the central angle. So it's going to be the measure of angle x, or let's just call it x. Sometimes writing less is easier. Arc length is 4.1 over 8.4. Let me rewrite that. 2 pi 8.4. All right, and if we're clever enough, if it says like, maybe it might just say round your answer. If it said round to the nearest tenth, I can plug this all into a calculator and it'll look like this. 4.1 divided by parentheses 2 pi. So that's divided by 2 pi 8.4. If I plug that all into my calculator, we're not even going to try an exact answer on this one. And we'll use 5 decimal places. 0.0776 8. All right. Sometimes it might just be easier to do that. Put it over 1 and cross multiply. X equals that number times 360, which is going to give me, rounding to the nearest tenth, 28. Because it was 27.9657914, or approximately 28. All right. We'll do these more practice problems in the next video.